members on what is required of them to function and to push the commission as a regulatory body to truly achieve its objectives for which it was set up for.
You just said something that's very striking. You mentioned the objective of the commission. How significant is this training? How would this training help members of the commission to effectively achieve the implementation of their mandate?
Thank you. You see, the commission, like I stated, is a newly set up commission, so they are still at the very base level, all right? And giving them the needed support right now is all that is required, okay, to function effectively. Yes, the government has done their part by establishing a commission, but if you notice, during the just concluded International Day for Persons with Disabilities, on the 5th, we organized, in collaboration with the Commission and JONAPID, NAVID organized the 14th Rights Above Charity Lecture. And the theme for this, for the lecture was from establishment to effectiveness, making inclusion the heartbeat of governance in Edo State. So that signifies that we know that government has played its role by establishing the commission. Right now, what we are looking at is to see how this commission can be effective. So the training we did last week was a 2-day workshop to train. We got the consultant to train the commission and, of course, the rest official members on the statutory role as a commission. And one of the outcome or output from this 2-day workshop is the development of the operational manual for the commission. You know, for example, these are baby steps we are taking, especially as a commission, the commission level. So we are helping them take that step, like we're like providing a guide, all right? So one of the outputs is that we've been able to achieve the operational manual, which is being fine-tuned currently as we speak. All right, and also I want to also let you know that just the previous week before the December 5th, December 3rd program, we were able to even achieve the simplification of the Edo Disability Rights Law of 2022. It's still under this output from this same very project, where the law is being simplified so that the common man can access the provisions of that law without needing a learned colleague to decipher the content of the law. Yes. So that is part of the things we are trying to achieve. And one of the things you will see that at the end of this 2-day capacity training that we did, there was increase in knowledge, all right, on the part of the commission on their statutory role, and also what is expected of them as per the public, and at the same time too, the part that is very important for them is to understand their regulatory function, all right, as a commission. And one of the things that we help them guide their operations was the operational manual, which, like I said, was developed in that workshop. So you see that it's a whole robust program that at the end, in the next 1 year, 2 years, you will not believe how much we would have achieved by this foundation that is being laid.
You talked about an operational manual, which is one of the key documents or one of the fallouts from the 2 days capacity training. I also know that you are working towards developing another document, which is a strategic work plan for the commission, but we'll talk more about that. We'll go on a quick break now. Don't forget the program is Hitches and Voices, coming to you courtesy of Network for the Advancement of People with Visible Disability, NAVID, a non-governmental organization here in Nigeria. We'll go on a quick break now. We'll come back. We'll continue our conversation with our guest, Noble NAVID, a program officer with NAVID. We'll be back. Back from that very short break. If you're just joining us, the program is Hitches and Voices. Don't forget, our conversation has been with Mr. Israel Noble Isaac, a program officer with NAVID, and he's been having conversations with us about NAVID's intervention or NAVID's support for the Edo State Disability Commission to strengthen the commission, to enable the commission fulfill its core mandate. And before we went on break, he was talking about helping the commission develop a operational document that will help them function very well. Like I said before we went on the break, you talked about a strategic plan. Why do you want to help the commission develop a strategic plan?
All right, thank you. Thankfully, we have a government that's very supportive of the commission since its establishment. And one of the things that we also say is the outcome, an outcome for the commission since inception is that for the first time they were able to defend their budget, and for 2026 fiscal year they will be operating with a budget. All right. So we, as a development partner, NAPFID, we see the need that it is important that they don't just implement programs or projects, but they have a policy drive. All right, so that's why we, with support from the ROLAC program, we are able to, that will be in January 2026, we'll be having a 3-day strategic planning workshop with the commission members and of course the ex-officials who have just been inaugurated into the commission to develop a 3-year strategic plan and a work plan for 2026 based on the budgets that have been submitted already to the states for the commission, so that it will be like strategic plans are like roadmaps. They show you direction. They direct you on projects and programs that you do. Is a policy direction. All right. So the strategic plan we are looking at is that it's going to be for 2026 through to 2028, which of course also in addition, like a cherry on the cake, will also be including the 1-year work plan, which is for 2026 for the commission. So that at a glance, even if they are going to be desiring partners to join them to push through with the strategic plan, it will be easier to bring partners on board, to be easier to bring,
all right.
Yes.
I don't want us to be too academic with this program so that an average listener can follow properly. But the essence of all of this is to ensure that the commission functions optimally and deliver on its core mandate, which is to provide for the welfare and to protect the rights of persons with disability. I believe that's the essence of all of this activity. But let's go back to the ex-official you talk about. I believe these are members of various MDAs who will be working with the commission to achieve its mandate. And I like the fact that you are carrying various members of each ministry along. But I just want you to speak to the specific. Why is it important for these ex-officials to be part of the commission, to understand what the commission is doing so that they can implement it at their various ministry? How important is this?
All right, you just answered it.
I want you to expand on it.
You just answered it because their involvement play a great role. One, at the beginning stage, when you are part of those laying the foundation, you will be able to contribute meaningfully to the raising of the edifice. All right. So in this case, the ex-official coming on board right now at this ground level is very critical. They understand where the commission is and where the commission is going. And so, as representatives of these various ministries are on board, for example, Ministry of Justice, one of their rep was available throughout the 2 days workshop. When he goes back to the Ministry of Justice, his role, his responsibility is to ensure that all the programs the Ministry of Justice will be carrying out henceforth should be inclusive. It should have a disability component, because disability is a cross-sectorial or multi-sectorial issue. All right, and therefore, talking about access to justice, for example, talking about accessing the maybe family courts or whatsoever, he understands the concept, because the truth is that you can't advocate for what you don't understand. So if they are on board, they understand the concept, they understand the idea from which persons with disabilities are speaking from. And so when they are at the implementation or policy level in their various ministry, they can make meaningful contributions. Okay, I'm representing this group in this capacity, and I can speak for them in this level. So can we make this program more inclusive? And how do we do it? You will now see them bringing ideas. Okay, we can do it this way because they already have ideas. They've been trained on how inclusive programs should look like.
Oh, beautiful. So, for example, maybe someone, an ex-official in the commission who is a staff of the Ministry of Information, for example, if there's a policy to carry out a campaign or an awareness creation, he's going to speak for the disability community to say, look, we must make this campaign more inclusive.
Thank you.
Because sometimes we see campaigns on television, on radio, and they are not inclusive enough. They don't carry the deaf community along. You do jingles, there are no sign language interpreters to help the deaf community understand what you're talking about. If there's an epidemic now, how is the deaf community going to be aware? So such ex-official will help break down, unbundle these policies, and ensure that they are more inclusive. They are more disability friendly. That's a good one. Let's look at the. You say it's a 2 months
yes,
program.
Yes, yes.
So at the end of these 2 months, what does NABID hope to achieve with this project?
Thank you. I will just run through the line of project activities that we've planned out, so that when I speak to the results, it will be clearer. Especially to our audience out there. One of the things we want to achieve primarily is to increase access to justice.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes. For example, strengthening the commission is in a way improving access to justice, because persons with disabilities will have better representation, both at the government level and also at the monitoring level, where you talk about regulatory, functions. All right. Also, we want to see that the current law, Disability Rights Law 2022 of Edo State, is simplified. Like I mentioned, we are simplifying that law. We've done the validation session just earlier this month, the 3rd or 2nd, I think 2nd of December. And part of that, what we did was to validate the simplified version of the disability law. And after we are done with the, final editing, we'll be producing even braille versions and other large print versions, so that it will be available for, the various clusters to access. That's one of the things we want to
members
achieve.
Of the public in
yes,
general.
of course. Even the digital copy will also be made available for anyone to access it in a simplified language. All right. And secondly, we are looking at conducting a research, all right, on inclusivity of the Edo State Civil Service. All right, because we believe that the current state of the Edo State Civil Service on inclusion, all right, there's no data backing. Though we know that the government have tried, the government have tried by employing, persons with disabilities. Just recently, after the 14th above charity lecture, you could see that the governor gave direct appointments to one Barrister Kindness Idahosa into the Ministry of Justice. That is applaudable, all right? And we through this project want to strengthen inclusion in the Edo State Civil Service. And one of the ways we want to do this is through data research, where we can say, okay, this is where we are. All right, this is how far, this is what is commendable from what the Edo State government has done, and also make recommendations. How can they improve? Because it's not enough to employ, it's not enough to bring persons with abilities into this space to work, but are there reasonable accommodations? All right, are there accessible buildings? These are things that we are looking at in this research, and it's going to be, we will make the findings public, so that the members of the public can also have access, and also even use it to make decisions, informed decisions moving forward. Then thirdly, we are looking at also this strengthening of the commission. We've talked about it already, the professional manual, and of course the strategic plan for 3 years that will cover the commission's operation, and that will strengthen their operations as a commission. Then also we are looking at a case where we're also going to be creating awareness. For example, this program we're having now is an awareness creation program. Of course. So we are creating awareness not just on the project itself, but also on disability issues, how front burner issues are perceived, all right, by the general public, and how they can better position themselves, in responding. You need to respond right when it comes to disability issues, all right, because that's why we are creating that awareness to ensure that there is deeper understanding. So part of the result we want to see at the end of this project is that there is increase in our awareness, one on disability law, and of course on disability related issues when it comes to access to justice. And also, let me also skip this also. One of the critical components we also see in here is that there's an intersection of disability and sexual and gender based violence. Yes, there's an intersection, because most of the times, most of these vulnerable persons are persons with disabilities, but they don't speak because they don't have a channel through which they can speak. So part of this we're going to be doing in this project also is that in next year, January, we're going to be training SAC workers. All right, as part of this project, we're going to be training SAC workers in Edo State on inclusive practices in handling sexual and gender-based related issues. Yes. We're going to be doing that, and part of the result we want to see is that we'll have more inclusive practices. For example, earlier this year we did a research. When we were doing some of our findings, we find that at the state level in the SAC center, they don't have a database disaggregated by disability. So they agreed to us.
To take count of persons with disabilities who have been violated.
They agreed to us that persons with disabilities have been violated. They've come to report, but in their database they don't have that, because in their case form, disaggregated by data. So that's part of the reason why we are doing this training also to strengthen that provision.
All right, we'll continue this conversation. It's quite an intense one, and it's obvious that the program officer for NAVID, Mr. Isaac Noble Israel, has a lot to say concerning this subject. We'll bring him on again to expand more on this conversation, but unfortunately, we've run out of time to continue the conversation today. Like I said, we'll stay on this topic and expand on it. It's a wrap for the program today on Hitches and Voices. I'd like to thank you for following us on the program, and for our listeners on radio, thank you for taking our time to also listen to the program today. We'll do this again next week. Till then, my name is Kingsley Okoje, saying spot the hitch and be a voice.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain, which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
ITV, certainly the best.
The new Idiom expressed excitement as they danced and rejoiced before the Esama of Benin, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawori Benedion, who also joined in the dance. As visiting and paying of homage to various homes of senior elders continued, the initiates spent 7 days performing diverse kinds of rites as required by tradition. They were furnished with rules and regulations regarding their new office as Edion.
That I grew up in this community to the point that they have now also chosen me as an elder in this community. It's a thing of great joy. All thanks to the Esama of Benin, my people, my family, everybody, all Okada community for this great honor. I'm very, very grateful.
Well, this is my brother. I'll call him my uncle because he grew up with my father. I'm so proud of him because we are doing the same rituals as the Edions of the Okada. It is our duty for us to make this place a greater place, for outsiders to come and see the goodness of God in Okada. And I'm proud of every one of us here. So shall it be so, each and every one of us in Jesus' name.
Odion ma Okada zima Esama zima dion Bona zima dion Obana zima dion Manawe Mari Esama dion ni mado pon me sama ni mado gbeken sama e ma dio wa na esama ma gbeken ne osabo obuyo bitu ne baba no get on maga no dia me maga ma ni do gbeken ne de na e ma ya fe e ma ato e ma agbo oro pa ewu dori e ma dia wo re ne o be ti agbon ya no we mi maga me we need just to know me afa
in Esama in our father's house in respect of our initiation to elders Edion level. As tradition demands, we are here today to come and also pay our homage to him, for him to also pray for us for long life and prosperity.
The climax after 7 days was paying of homage again to the Edion way, where he gave the initiate the full rights to function and to henceforth participate in meetings with Edion. It will go down in the history and minds of Okada community, Ovia people, Edo State, and Nigeria in general. The ambience, style, and the colorful ceremony associated with the 2025 initiation into the Edion Council of former Governor of Edo State, Chief Lucky Nosakari Igbenedion, his brothers Bright Ayamekwe Igbenedion, Honorable Charles Osenwige Igbenedion, Peter Osawori Igbenedion, Dr. Fred Osawuni Igbenedion, Barrister Mike Osane Igbenedion, Executive Director Operations, ITV and Radio, Chief Elder Gwede Onwonse, Honorable Efosa Douglas Igbenedion, Ukponwa Igbenedion, Osawe Igbenedion, Edosa Igbenedion, Dr. Daniel Omorige Igbenedion, as well as Agbong Steve Igbenedion, among other sons of Okada.
ITV, certainly the best.
All right, guys, it's another lovely Monday evening, and it's my pleasure to have you join me on yet another beautiful episode of the Guys Hangout Show on independent television, reaching you live from that city of bronze. You know, I love to call it that city where the king is truly king. Now, for starters, the Guys Hangout Show is one show that, teaches men to prioritize themselves and, of course, to be the best that they can be, just so that they can give the best that they can give. It airs on this station every Monday. All right, my name is Harry Aigboje, and of course, it's my pleasure to have you join us on this episode of the show. Now, today, we're going to be taking a look at a very, very important topic, something that actually caught my attention of recent. Okay, sometimes you're just going about your daily activities, and then you just, for a second, certain things just cross your mind, and you begin to ask yourself, what has actually changed? What has gone wrong? How come things are no longer the way they used to be? And one of such things is the growing lack of parental discipline in our society as we have it today. What exactly went wrong? whether you like it or not, you must have noticed that things are no longer the way they used to be, especially between parents and their kids. Those days when we were growing up, some of us had this reverence for our parents, right? Even in their absence. There were things we're not bold enough to do, we're not courageous enough to do, even in their absence, because of the kind of discipline that they gave us, right? So, for instance, I remember as a kid, I used to live within my boundaries as a child, right? I was not allowed to go to the next compound. Now, that was how I was raised. Not because my parents didn't like me, like us being free, but they just wanted to ensure that we lived within the boundaries that they set for us. Now, I'm sure a lot of you out there can also relate. Now, if you take a look at the parents of today, it doesn't seem to be like that anymore, right? A lot of parents seem to be more flexible in raising their children. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? My name is Harry Agboje once again, and it's my pleasure to have you join us on this episode of the show. Now, like you already know, I'm not alone. I've got an amazing person in the house with me, and together we're going to be taking a look at this topic. Now, he is an educationist and also a social analyst. He's really passionate about lots of things that are happening around us, and he loves to share his wealth of wisdom and experience on such matters. It's good to have you, Abu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harry. And as usual, it is good to be on the show today again. It is always a pleasure talking about issues that concerns us in society, especially issues like this, where if we keep quiet, things will get deteriorated and it will get out of hand.
True.
So, bad things strive because good men decide to keep quiet.
Absolutely.
So we must say something.
Definitely, we must say something, and that's basically why we're here. I mean, we really can't help not to say something, all right? Now, we're going to be taking a look at this issue as we begin to look at it one after the other, right?
Okay.
Let's look at it from this angle. Parenting is serious business, right? And I don't think a lot of parents realize that, a lot of parents of this generation, because there seems to be this trend of people just giving birth without recourse to the responsibility of taking care of those children. So let's start from there. Why would anybody want to, start having kids without, considering what it will take and what it will cost, to take care of those children?
Yeah, procreation is one biological gift that God and nature has given to humans. Okay. So anybody can, any adult who has gotten to a certain stage can procreate, except he or she has a medical condition.
Okay.
But procreation is not a yardstick to be called a parent. So we have so many fathers and mothers who are not parents. Being a parent means you are ready for the job after birth. Birthing a child is your God-given talent or God-given gift.
The natural ability.
That natural ability. But the idea of training this child, parenting, is a full-time job. I say full-time job because it's one thing that people just overlook, and because of that they think because they are fathers they could be called parents. No. We have so many fathers but few parents. So it's because of these few parents that we have in society that you see there is a growing lack of discipline in terms of parenting and all that. So I think the few parents that we have, if you see their children outside, you can distinguish them from those that have fathers and just mothers. So I think we should be seeing this thing from the idea of who are parents, to be precise.
Okay.
A parent is that person who is a father or a mother and has indulged herself into the act of bringing up this child. Children, the mind of a child is like a tabula rasa. Whatever you imprint on that mind is what goes a long way to determine what the child will become in life or how the child will behave and all that. But we really have people imprinting these things on the mind of the child. That is the question.
I think that's $1 million question, because this is one question I believe a lot of parents do not ask themselves before they begin to procreate. Like you've rightly established, there's a clear difference between procreation
there is.
and parenting.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need to begin to establish. What exactly is it with parents of nowadays? Just like I said in opening, when we were growing up, it was a different ball game, right?
Yeah.
We were raised with a very high level of discipline. So much so that parents of this generation will probably see that as you being too hard on your child.
Okay.
Now, what's the place of discipline in parenting? Let's begin.
Yeah, there are different factors that I think I will tie to this lack of parental discipline. Number one, the infiltration of Western culture into our traditional belief and norms. Secondly, we also have this idea of laziness on the part of some people who call themselves, I use the word who call themselves parents, laziness on their part. And thirdly, there is this idea of the growing new normal, where people advocate that children should be treated with, like adults, they should be treated with kids and gloves and all that, so that you not hurt them, and so after all they are human beings. So, but let me start with this infiltration of Western culture into our traditional culture. Now you see, the white men asked us at the time to marry a fellow man, a woman marry a fellow woman. Many of us did not dispute it. Some African countries are already doing that. They also asked us to wear the suit, the sleeve, the waistcoat, the tie, and all that, despite our hot weather. Many of us did not also dispute that fact. And we are doing it. But very recently, they are also asking us to treat a child as an adult. And so many parents have started, many fathers and mothers have started treating their child, their children, as adults. That's the problem. They want to train them in the Western way. They want their children to see themselves as adults. They are rushing them through that childhood. They don't want them to enjoy that childhood. They don't want them to see themselves as children. That state of innocence is no longer there. A child that just here, you call that child that you want to reason with the child like an adult. What is reasoning capacity in the first place? My brother, what is the rationale behind you sitting a child and to say, let's discuss? You are just 4 now. And who told you that a 4 years old is thinking like an adult already? It's not. I know many will say this is a computer age and jet. Leave that computer age and jet. Children are children. And most of how were we brought up? We were told that if you misbehave, I will flog you. I have so many parents in my area. My father was not just my father. Yes, he was my biological father, but I have so many fathers. Before my father even come back from his workplace, someone else have disciplined you if you misbehave and all that. Do we still have such in our society? No. You see, everybody wants to say my family.
So you're saying that in those days there was a communal mindset?
A communal mindset. All parents were parents, and all children were children to all parents. Now, these days, you see families saying, you don't touch my child, I know how to discipline my child, you leave this child for me to discipline and all that. So that's why we're getting children that are going haywire. Some of them are even going gaga. You know, some of the hairstyle that a 10-year, 11-year-old will put on, you begin to wonder, is this one coming from a home? You see some young girls out there, 11, 10, some of the things they will wear, like, does this one even have fathers and mothers at home? So the issue now is we are drinking too much from this cup of Western wine. I think we should come back home. We should come back to this African tradition. We are Africans. And in Africa, there is discipline intrinsically buried in our totemic mindset. It is in our subconscious. That discipline should be resurrected. That parents should see themselves as not just parents, but as role models, as disciplinarians. Correct these children when need be. Don't reason with a child. It gets to a certain stage, you reason with him, not at this stage. It is some of those things that you imprint on him when he was still a child that will model him into a very good adult. A good child definitely will become a good adult.
Absolutely.
Now, when you lead them, you think they can think of themselves. What you fail to tell them, their friends out there will tell them. And that is what we should avoid. So that idea of Western culture, I think we should come back home. Besides that, sir, this idea of laziness on the part of parents. They think now that you already have a child. So if you can provide for this child, you are performing the work of a parent already. The provision we are talking about here is not just finance. Many of them talk is just finance. If he's attending a very good school, I can provide. If he wants to buy anything, I can give him more. No. Emotionally, psychologically, this child needs you. Morally, you should be there for him. Who are his friends? Do you even know his friends? What are his routine? How does this child carry out his daily activity? You should be your child's best friend. You should have a roundtable talk most times with him. You should be able to tell him, if you try that, I will flog a lot of you and he will not try it. Don't let him see himself like an adult already. You hardly even see children these days bathing outside. And someone said it's civilization. I think they know too much.
Okay.
Their parents make them know too much.
So they've gone past the phase of innocence.
You see that state of innocence? It has been killed. Every child now, the parents have been able to inculcate in them that they are no longer children, but they are now what? Adults. And there is no way a child can behave like an adult. He will be an adult in a wrong form. So let these children grow. Correct them. Discipline them. Be a disciplinarian. You don't rub men with a child of 5.
Okay. Now, you've actually said a lot. Now, talking about the infiltration of Western culture, just recently I saw a video on Facebook of this American comedian, a veteran comedian, Steve Harvey, he was actually interviewing a kid, a 5-6-year-old girl. So he was asking her why she liked her brother, or why she loved her brother. And she was saying, well, she loves her brother because, her big brother, of course, because he's always there to protect her and to comfort her when, her parents whooped her. And then, of course, the crowd, reacted in laughter and all of that. Now, I went through the comments as usual, and I saw a lot of persons asking questions, and a lot of people, complaining that it was totally out of place for the parents to, whoop her or to discipline her. And, of course, it became a debate as usual. Now, that pretty much reminds me of something. The fact that this is also becoming a major issue in this part of the world, whether or not to discipline a child. Because some people see the use of corporal punishment as a sign of hatred for the child. That how can you, use corporal punishment for a child that you love? So they see it as, you doing too much. They believe you shouldn't use corporal punishment on your child, that there are other ways. Just like you said, some of them believe you can reason with your child. But how do you reason with a child whose mind is not even matured enough to, look at things from that perspective? I think what we have is actually a problem, because people want to mistake smartness, intellectual exposure to maturity. Yeah. And I think that's a problem. I would like you to speak in that regard.
You see, words get their meaning from their context.
Okay.
What they call maltreatment in a particular context, in another context might be called discipline.
Discipline.
So when that people say you are hitting that child too hard, you're beating this child and all that. But I think in the right context, when it comes to my child or any other child, or any other child around me, it should use that right word, discipline. We were once children, sir. They did not kill us.
Of course not.
We are what we are today because of how our parents decided to straighten our life. At least our parents are not beasts. They know what they are doing. You don't expect a mother who gave birth to a child to kill that child with her own ends, except she's maniacally derailed and all that. Yeah. When children are being disciplined with love, you can discipline a child with love. There is no need you bringing in ideas of you are abusing the child rights and all that. He is a child, for God's sake. The reason why you are saying I am abusing his right because you want to protect that child. The reason why I even discipline that child is to protect the child also. Now, this is what the government are fighting against, is that you should not assault a child. Discipline will get to an extent, becomes an assault.
So that's where we need to draw the line now. At what point does discipline become an assault?
When you begin to inflict serious pains,
bodily harm
on this child, it is not an assault.
Okay.
When you are not correcting the child with love, it becomes an assault. When you are doing it with hatred, it becomes an assault. When you forget the fact that this person is still a child, it becomes an assault. But when you are doing it in the circumstances of these things I'm saying, like he's a child, I want to correct him with love, he's my child, and all that, that is discipline. And we should not rule out discipline because some persons are misusing it. I know I am not in line with so many parents or guardians who have decided to inflate pains on children because you want them to listen. No, that is beyond discipline. Okay. That is now an assault. That is now an hatred. That is now a corporal punishment. And if I ask my child to kneel down there, for example, or get a cane and give my child 2 or 3 strokes of the cane for doing something wrong, next time he will not try it. But if you now give a punishment that is more than that child to that child, then it becomes an assault.
An assault, okay.
You're asking a child, for example, you get pepper, rub on the child's body, or give the person some scars, marks, and all that. No, that is wicked and that is evil. But you're asking the child to kneel down there or get a cane, flog this child 5-3 or more, as the case may be, and after all this, call the child, next time, don't try it. I am your father, I love you, and that's why I'm doing this. I hope you will not try it next time. Such a child will not try it. But you're not letting the child know the reason why you have flogged him or disciplined him and all that. It is hatred.
Hatred.
So we should draw the line between discipline and hatred. So I am not advocating for that idea of that battering, that corporal punishment. I am saying we should not rule out the fact that these children are still children. And children have a mindset that is as clean as a tabula rasa. So we have to imprint something that they will take up into becoming a very good adult.
I guess that's why the Holy Book says that you should train up your child in the way he should go, that when he is old, he will not depart from it. All right, guys, it's still the Guys Hangout Show on Independent Television. Just in case you're just joining us, we're talking about the decline in discipline, parental discipline. What has gone wrong? What exactly is the problem? Why is it that, you know, kids are no longer as disciplined as before? Why is it that kids nowadays can just do whatever they want without, you know, their parents or a parental figure, you know, putting them in check? Now, Abu, just a moment ago, you were talking about the difference between correcting in love and correcting, you know, in hatred, right? Yeah. Now, it's no longer uncommon to see children just walking past an adult without greeting. And that was actually one of the things that we were taught as, you know, children. And that was exactly one of those values that we grew up with, which is why we cannot see someone who's older than us now
and not greet.
Don't you think that's also a function of this lack of discipline?
The dysfunctionality of the society, that's one of the factor, one of the things we got from the dysfunctionality in the society. Why did I say so? I just told you not quite long that all parents were parents to all children. An elder can call you back and say, so you don't know how to greet. Where are you from? You say, I'm sorry, sir. Good morning, sir. Or in my dialect, you greet according to your family lineage, and you must do that. That's how we grow up. But these days, many parents have restricted themselves from doing that. Before someone else will come somewhere and say, don't talk to my child, it's my child, I know how to train my child and all that. So that communal nature is no longer there. And you can see, that is just a microcosm of the larger one. You could see, apart from this idea of greeting, you could see children, they hardly even get up from the seats for an elder to sit, if that's the only seat.
That's another dimension to it.
Now, you see some of them, they are very disrespectful. They have begun to euphemize what we call disrespect. You see some of them will say savage reply. What you might want to call obscenity,
I think that's one of the effects of
stupidity, social media. Yeah. You see some of them will say, there's a new one now, we listen, we don't judge.
That's not how we go.
They are indirectly promoting children to go haywire.
Go wild.
They are promoting this idea of you can always do whatever you want to do. And they are promoting immorality.
And the question we should even be asking is, what do we call judge in this context? Judging is discipline.
Discipline we're talking about. It is a discipline they want to eradicate.
When a child does something wrong, you're supposed to discipline that child. So you say, but to children of this generation,
you listen, you don't judge. I will judge, you say, you listen, you don't judge. Besides that, sir, you see, when these children were growing up, they were given this orientation that I am your father, I am your mother, I am the only person, I should be the only person that has a moral right to discipline you. And that's bad. Let these children know that all parents in this vicinity are your parents.
Even adults.
Even adults. They have the right to discipline you in my absence. When I was growing up, something happened. I went home to tell my father that a teacher has flogged me in school. He said, okay, the next morning we'll go. He followed me to school. And when we got there, he took the cane himself and flogged me again right in front of the teacher. These were adults in unity. Adults having a meeting over me that I don't even know about. Their primary aim then was, this child must not go wayward. Now that I am an adult, I used to think like, okay, could it be the reason why my dad have to flog me again? You know, that sends a message. The message was, you are safe in his hands and don't misbehave because I'm your father. I'll flog you again. But these days, we've seen parents that will follow their children to school and start constituting nuisance. Some of them will not even ask. You'll be telling your child right from the home that your teacher will die today. You are giving that child an impression that he or she can disrespect
an elder
and get away with it. I'm your mother, I will always fight for you. You are creating you are creating a small problem that will blossom into a bigger one in society tomorrow. A child you couldn't discipline today will end up in prison. And they'll start crying. Discipline your child. Teach these children societal value. The values, one of the values that will hold tenaciously to in Africa is respect. They should be respectful. Leave this idea of we are in a civilized world, this is a computer age. And in America, you don't touch a child like that, they'll call the police on trust Nigeria police. Okay. They'll be very quick to tell you, no, it's not like that. You must respect your parents and all that. So that is one of the factors. Okay. Though there are other factors. There are factors that we have this single motherhood and fatherhood. Yeah. It's also a contributing factor.
Broken homes.
A broken home. Now, if a child is coming from a broken home, that parental care, love will not be there. Of course, it's not easy for one person to train up a child.
Okay.
You need a father figure, you need a mother figure, and this person is not there. Definitely it will affect the child's psychology, and that will metamorphose into an adult that will be antisocial,
okay,
or that will be maladjusted in society.
All right.
So that is another angle.
Okay, once again, it's the Guys Hangout Show, and tonight we're taking a look at the issue of the lack of parental discipline. What has gone wrong? What is the difference between the way it used to be and the way it is now? Now, Abu, in closing, I just wanted to give a word of advice to parents out there who are not living up to expectation in terms of disciplining their child. Those who think, letting their child get away with everything they do is a sign of love. What's your advice for them? In less than,
They shouldn't be just a father or a mother.
Okay.
They should be parents. And parenting is not an easy job.
Okay.
If you are capable of giving birth to a child, you should be able to take good care of that child. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to discipline your child.
Don't be scared to discipline your child. I guess that's the parting word for tonight. I want to say a big thank you to you, Abu, for taking out
thank you, my brother.
Time to be with us on the show today. And of course, to every one of you out there who have created time to be with us. I hope you've taken something away from tonight's discourse. Of course, the most important thing to take away from this is parenting is serious business. All right? So the moment you decide to become a parent, just have it in mind that the future of that child lies in your hands. If that child is going to grow up to become a responsible person, it's totally up to you. And of course, it's up to the adults that child is surrounded by. So another thing that Abu said in the course of his analysis is that parenting doesn't just end with you as a parent. You should also give the adults around your child the responsibility of raising your child, just like it was in the olden days. Don't have this mindset that you are the only one who has the responsibility of taking care of that child. My name is Harry Aigboje, and until I come your way again, same time, same station next week, do ensure you do the right thing and stay out of trouble. Do have yourself a lovely night rest.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain, which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
ITV, certainly the best.
Ojode Adwaje, Abẹ́ẹ̀dọ́pẹ́. Ayabadwage, Abẹ́ẹ̀dọ́pẹ́. Alaye Adwage, Abẹ́ẹ̀dọ́pẹ́. Ẹgbẹ̀dúwà.
Hello there, thank you for joining us on this special interview series on independent television. And I'm Sonny Duke Okosun. Our guest today on the program is the Ambassador of the European Union to Nigeria and ECOWAS. As a matter of fact, the Ambassador of the European Delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, His Excellency Ambassador Gauthier Mignon. Thank you for obliging us your time.
Thank you very much for your kind invitation, sir.
Okay, how would you describe your presence in Benin so far? Is this your first time in Benin City?
Actually, it's my second time, but I came in a private visit the first time because I hadn't presented my credentials yet to Mr. President, so I could not engage officially by the time. So this time it's the first official visit. And I came really with an intention to see how, to review the cooperation we are having with the state and to try to see how we can scale it up. But I took the opportunity to visit yesterday to participate to a private preview of the Museum of West African Arts here in Edo State, which is a project that I already saw last year when I came first to Benin City.
So how would you describe the level of partnership between the European Union and, of course, Nigeria, and particularly Edo State?
Well, with Nigeria, the European Union, together with its member states and its development banks, what we call Team Europe, I think is the first partner, is Nigeria's first partner in many areas, in trade and investment in particular, and also in cooperation in many areas. And we have 730 million euros in grants for bilateral cooperation with Nigeria between 2041 and 2027, plus also sizable amounts of loans, subsidized loans. And with Edo State, we've had a good cooperation in several areas. I'm thinking in particular of support to migration governance and support to stranded migrants returning to Nigeria, and many of them are from Edo State. And in the last few years, we supported more than 23,000 people to come back and reintegrate into their communities nationally, and many of them in Edo State, just to name an example. So voilà, we think we can do more in other areas. We're also working in digital economy, in renewable energy, and also in projects for communities. But I always come with states so important like Edo State with an idea of how to try to improve and strengthen what we are doing already.
All right. What is the policy thrust of the European Union in terms of opportunities for young people as it relates to education?
Well, for us, education is key, and young people are a cross-cutting priority in a country like Nigeria. So in all our projects, we integrate a dimension for young people and also for women. And in particular, as far as young people are concerned, we are funding a big national project called Nigeria Jubilee Fellowship Program. It's about helping young graduates to integrate into labor markets by funding a 12-month scholarship for having internships in medium and small size enterprises or public service to get a first professional experience. And this is something that we are now scaling up with the federal government. And we are also offering possibilities of studies in Europe, particularly through the Erasmus program. We have more than 100 Nigerians going every year to Europe to study a master in the framework of the Erasmus program.
All right. What is the policy thrust of the European Union in terms of opportunities for young people as it relates to education?
Well, for us, education is key, and young people are a cross-cutting priority in a country like Nigeria. So in all our projects, we integrate a dimension for young people and also for women. And in particular, as far as young people are concerned, we are funding a big national project called Nigeria Jubilee Fellowship Program. It's about helping young graduates to integrate into labor markets by funding a 12-month scholarship for having internships in medium and small size enterprises or public service to get a first professional experience. And this is something that we are now scaling up with the federal government. And we are also offering possibilities of studies in Europe, in particular through the Erasmus program. We have more than 100 Nigerians going every year to Europe to study a master in the framework of the Erasmus program in particular.
Fantastic. If you just join us, we have with us the ambassador of the European Commission delegation to Nigeria and Africa, who is in Edo State currently on a private visit, engaging him on a wide range of issues, looking at the partnership between the Commission and Nigeria, and particularly Edo State. Ambassador Mignot, let me quickly take you on a trending issue in Nigeria right now, which has to do with violence, extremism, and the talk around genocide against Christians is gaining momentum across the world, particularly in the US and several other places. What's the Commission's perspectives on this issue, and what is the intention in terms of helping Nigeria to deal with banditry, Boko Haram, and all other, extremism that we're seeing playing up in the country right now?
I think it's important not to exaggerate or oversimplify situations which are very complex in Nigeria in terms of violence and insecurity. Of course, it's a big concern for everybody, including for us. We are very much committed with freedom of religion and belief in particular, and of course, any attack against communities or individuals because of their religion must be condemned, unacceptable. But at the same time, we stand in solidarity with Nigeria, with the victims of the attacks, of course, and with the overwhelming majority of Nigerians who are willing to coexist peacefully beyond ethnic or religious differences. And so we stand in solidarity with Nigeria to fight the many drivers of violence and insecurity. And religion is only one of them. And we've been supporting Nigeria for many years through many projects of peace building, of de-radicalization, demobilization of former members of non-state armed groups, for instance. And we are ready to do more. You know, the European Union some 12 years ago received the Nobel Prize for Peace. And so we always feel the necessity to be up to this great distinction that we received, to work on peace building, to work also and strengthen our relationship on security and defense with Nigeria, but in a spirit of partnership and of respect for Nigeria's sovereignty.
Fantastic. You're here specifically because of the Museum of West African Arts, MOA, which of course was launched just a few days ago. But what's your take on the current issues surrounding the Museum of West African Arts, particularly against the background of some of the things that happened there, you know, during the inauguration of the center? You were there.
I was there. It was not an inauguration of the museum, actually. Okay. It was just a private preview, because the organizer, I think very wisely, decided, as there were some criticisms, to postpone the formal inauguration of the museum. They announced this already a few days ago. And so yesterday was just a private preview for partners, friends, diplomats like myself and other European ambassadors. The EU has no direct involvement in this project. We are not funding this project. We might do it in the future because we want to partner more with museums and cultural institutions in West Africa and Nigeria, but we have no direct involvement so far. So I came here really to see the advancement of this very wonderful project I discovered last year when I came first, which is a great opportunity for Edo State, for Nigeria, and for West Africa. It's a West African museum. It's not about only Benin or Edo State or Nigeria, even. It's West African. And I must say that the experience that we had yesterday was quite unpleasant and deplorable, because this private event on a private property was disrupted by so-called protesters who came in, allowed by the police, because there was security all around, but they left them in. And they disrupted the whole event. So it's exactly how you scale off. You scale off investors and development partners coming in good faith, to partner with your community. And Germany, for instance, has invested 8.5 million euros in this project. If now they see that this project cannot operate normally, I mean, the conclusions will be quite clear, not only for Germany, but for all European stakeholders.
Fantastic. Let's look at a general issue that relates to the involvement of the Western world in Africa in terms of development, in terms of partnership, in terms of insecurity. Talking about partnership, we're seeing the European Union, for example, always disposed to giving loans to African countries, Nigeria inclusive. The perspective of these loans being a trap for developing countries, underdeveloped countries. What are your thoughts? What's the Commission perspectives on this?
Well, this is a trap where we felt collectively, the lenders and our African partners 30 years ago, and we had at the time to pardon part of this debt, to do a whole work to get out of this situation. So now, through, in particular, our new cooperation strategy, which is called the Global Gateway Strategy, we are very attentive not to fall again into this trap. So we limit the level of indebtedness of partner countries. We give subsidized loans. We don't want to fall again into this trap. And what we are seeing with concern is that African countries, some of them, are falling again into this situation with other lenders, not the European Union, because we've learned from our first experience. So this is why now we work very much with financial instruments, blending loans with grants, for instance, subsidized loans which create revenues for the country, so making sure that they can be reimbursed. So it's really a point we are very attentive to.
On a global scale, we've seen the disappearance of peace, so to speak, at the global level. I mean, the Hamas-Israeli crisis there's a ceasefire, there's some sort of agreement, but we're still seeing some measure of violence. We saw recently the RSF activities in Sudan, particularly in Al-Fasher. That crisis is still going on. And these activities or events that are unfolding globally that undermines peace globally, what's your perspective of the fact that it's like the world is hamstrung in terms of dealing with these issues, nipping them at the bud before it blossoms, it flourishes, snowballs into huge crisis like you're seeing now in Sudan. Hunger is there in Hamas, there's starvation, there's poverty, and all of these issues happening. Why is it so difficult for the world leaders to have a consensus in terms of how they can collectively respond to these issues?
Because we have collective rules in the United Nations Charter, international law. And what we have seen over the last 10 years or so is that very important players have not respected these rules. You know? Take the case of Russia in particular.
Yeah, Russia and Ukraine.
The Russian invasion to Ukraine, which started in fact in 2014, then it became full scale in 2022. Then we, each from a permanent member of the Security Council, a country which is supposed to be a guarantor of these rules, then it shows that everybody can do anything and violates international law without punishment. And so this is why it's so important, and this is why the European Union insisted so much that all countries in the world had to condemn the Russian invasion to Ukraine. And most countries, including Nigeria, have done that. But others, including large democracies, have not done so.
When you say large democracy, are you talking about the US?
The US has done so, but others have not. And then, other crises also popped up. And then when the law starts to be broken here and there, it just becomes contagious.
Ambassador Gottner-Mignot, thank you so much for your time. Truly appreciate this conversation.
Pleasure. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I've been talking with Ambassador Mignot, who is the head of the European delegation to Nigeria and Africa, is currently in Edo State on a visit, and we've been engaging him on a wide range of issues. Thank you for staying with us, and have a beautiful day ahead. Bye for now.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
Top on the list of the initiates was the eldest son of the Esama of Benin and former governor of Edo State, Chief Lucky Nosakare Igbenedion. 11 of his siblings, namely Bright Ayamekwe Igbenedion, Honorable Charles Osemwige Igbenedion, Peter Osawari Igbenedion, Dr. Fred Osanwi Igbenedion, Barrister Mike Osare Igbenedion, Efosa Douglas Igbenedion, Upoma Enes Igbenedion, Osawe Igbenedion, Edosa Igbenedion, Dr. Daniel Omorige Igbenedion, Agbong Steve Igbenedion, as well as the Executive Director Operations, ITV and Radio, Chief Elder Ugbeide Nwonse. It was a vital aspect of Okada community's cultural heritage, which emphasized the significance of age, responsibility, and community service. Over 50 notable sons of Okada were also initiated. According to tradition and customs, those initiated, dressed in white traditional attire, were made to undergo some rituals, while the Odionwe pronounces blessings on them and assisted them to take a seat with the elders.
ITV, certainly the best.
We're broadcasting live on independent television. This is 60 Minute Nigeria, your ultimate current affairs program where we take you around Nigeria in the next 60 minutes, analyzing the politics, the policies. You can also say the politricking as well. On the show this beautiful afternoon, we have so much to discuss. The defection, party defection here and there. We've seen what happened in Rivers. The Rivers State Governor, Siminalayi Fubara, defecting to the All Progressive Congress in Osun. We saw the PDP Governor still, Senator Ademola Adeleke, defecting to the Accord Party. We'll be looking at how it will shape in 2027, which is already around the corner. I am Lawrence Osifo, your anchor, standing in for your regular host, Egusa Agbonlaho, who is actually unavoidably absent, but he will be back next week to take you through on the program. So like I said, we have so much to delve into, and I have my array of guests, political analysts, people who understand the polity, the policies and everything, who will be with me. Some will be joining via Zoom on the show, while I also have one already live with me in the studio this afternoon. I have the person of Bright Olumese, who is a clergyman, not just a clergyman, he's also a political analyst. He understands what happened in the polity. Good afternoon and good to have you on the show.
Thank you, Mr. Lawrence.
Yeah, it won't be out of place to say compliment of the season. Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
And prosperous New Year ahead.
Yeah, same to you.
All right, let's begin the conversation. We've seen what has played out over, should we say the months now, or weeks in Nigeria. Defection, gale of defection here and there, especially PDP governors defecting to the APC, trying to look at the implication for 2027. To the politicians, we're already in 2026. Though we are still in 2025, but today we're already in 2026. Any moment from now, campaign will begin and all of that. What really could be some of the impact of this defection? First, let's start with the PDP. Is it like the house of PDP is not in order? That's why their governors are decamping.
Thank you again, Lawrence, and good afternoon, viewers at home. You see, Nigeria politics and the political space is revolving, and we're growing. And we have the PDP situation is an example or a lesson for other political parties. There are certain internal crises you shouldn't allow to stay too long in your political party.
Yeah.
Yes. The internal crisis over the year in the PDP has come to play. PDP is almost like a house that cannot put themselves together. You see, over a few months, they've lost almost their governors. Yeah. The one remaining is just a footstep. They are negotiating their way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The reason why they are still there is that they don't get safe landing. So it's a lesson, like I said, to other political parties, allowing certain internal crises stay for too long. And all of that. And you see, PDP, as it were, used to be the biggest political party
in Africa.
When you talk about political party even in Nigeria, which of the political party, they were all given birth to by PDP. Yeah, so now, but the problem right now is that the recent players of the PDP seems that greed, personal interest, not trying to shift ground, has created long-lasting rancor, and they already begin to. But you see the Osun State situation. The if to the primaries, the governor just pull out. Resign. The reason is because, like, look, politics is negotiation, reaching out to the panel. You see that, look, these guys are not even organized. I can't put my weight here.
Yeah.
And all of that, I may be disappointed. And he pulled out. He's negotiating his way somewhere else and all of that. So it's just to seek relevance. So it's almost like the statement of the governor says that PDP, look, you guys are not relevant any longer in town.
Yeah.
It's like the name PDP right now can't say like that.
As it were.
As it were. So every right thinking candidate who has done his research will look, I want to win.
Absolutely.
That's the important thing.
That's the aim of every politician.
Of the politician to win. Yes. Now, all politicians, they must have brought experts, look at, sample opinions and all of that, and come up with, look, this political party will be difficult to sell.
Yeah.
There's so much factor, there's so much enemy, there's so much interest. There is this Abuja, very big guys in Abuja that really don't want PDP to resurrect anywhere. So fighting PDP is just their business.
That's their job.
Their job.
They are being paid for that to do it.
It's like they derive pleasure
in doing it.
They create, one of the politicians said, touch me, I'll create problem for you. And that's what is playing out today.
Absolutely.
So any politician who wants to remain, in power or wherever, you have to seek relevance somewhere.
When you win election.
Yes, so that's the case of the Osun. When you look at the River State, it's a little bit different.
Okay.
A little bit different in the sense that the sitting governor is trying to seek
a second term.
Yes, not just second term, survivor.
That's true. Survivor.
I don't support defection. I don't support that at all. Number one, you can't just win in this political party. Look at the South have all now become APC, not by vote.
Yeah.
By defection. This is unacceptable.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable. It's painful. Because when you see political party build up to the election, you see fans, you see sympathizers, you see people,
party members, and even the electorate.
Just for one person to just sit down, the next
end of the day,
you see him taking tea with the other. Are you for real? But right now, the Fubara case, it's like you can't blame this guy.
Yeah.
A sitting governor who battled, a lot of battles, almost being impeached. The president came with intervention. He was suspended for 6 months and all of that. And coming back again, there is still, we thought we've said to do.
Yeah.
The sitting speaker is still saying that, look, you are not consulting us. You are spending money that have not been appropriated for. So, with looking at all of this, look, I need to survive. Okay. Because if these guys come up with this impeachment thing again, I may not survive it. So the clear move of Fubara, when I saw it, number one, I saw it about survival for this first tenure and negotiation for the second tenure, because every defection, whether you like it or not, before the landing, there is a negotiation. Absolutely. There's an agreement.
There's an agreement.
Yes, there's an agreement. You could see what he said. He has simply said that, look, my defection is to, number one, attract federal attention for development and to help President Tinubu easy win for 2027. So you can't be helping him to win 2027 when you're not in the ballot.
Wow.
So in other words, for me, it's politics.
Okay.
Right now, political parties in Nigeria, they are right in that stage where you can negotiate. It's an open market.
Yeah.
It's a trading
it's like buying and selling.
There is no constant enemy.
Okay, we'll have to take a break now on the show. Let's just take a short break. We'll continue with the conversation shortly. Stay with us. All right, thank you so much for staying with us. Still on the program, 60 Minutes Nigeria. We've laid the foundation with my first guest, who already gave us a brief before my other guest joined us, the person of Collins Osagai, who is a political analyst and also a chieftain of the ruling All Progressive Congress. Collins, good to have you on the show.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Nice having
compliment of the season.
Thank you very much.
All right. I'm pretty sure you overheard Olumese while he was laying a background to our conversation before you came up on air. Now, the defection of governors from their previous party to either the ruling party or another party. We're using the case of the defection of Fubara now of Rivers from the PDP to the APC, then Adeleke of Osun from the PDP to the Accord party. Is this healthy generally for democracy?
Yeah, thank you very much. Ordinarily, some of us to say, would there be any need for people to defect?
Yeah.
But we do not have independent candidacy in Nigeria based on our electoral law. And based on that, you must leverage on a structure or a political party in order to achieve what you intend to achieve by aspiring or winning an election. And now we have a major tsunami that occurred in the People's Democratic Party. When we talk about people actually defecting now, are people moving out of PDP. And the reason thereof, which is close, though there are more than one reason for some of those governors who had to leave. For some who left, they left because the leadership of the party could not help to stand a system that can be guaranteed. You know, there have been a lot of issues in PDP. BOT, a fighting member of the National Working Committee, the state chairman, a fighting national chairman, governors are fighting with the former minister or ministers still that is in the party. So there have been a lot of issues. And these issues become unresolvable. You know, at the time they felt it would be resolvable, And time was of essence to many of them who intend to recontest for an election or who intend to go further people to contest for an election. And when you are in a party where we have had series, we have references to make when a political party chooses not to work in coherence. And at the end, you submit a name to the party. It has even happened to APC. Some time ago, when the state, they were having issues, and at the end of the day, the court rejected the candidacy that came from that party. It happened in Zamfara some years ago.
So they can call that internal political crisis?
Yes, internal political crisis, metaphor into becoming a collateral damage for the party, where a governor, houses of assembly member were all sacked based on the fact that there were problems within the party, and the courts and INEC actually had issue with recognizing the candidate, the original candidature. So probably most of them don't want to be victim. In order to escape this kind of issue, they have to quickly find an alternative. And for majority of them too, they also needed a party that has structure already on ground. Because it's one thing to join a new party, it's another thing to carry the weight and the burden. It is not easy funding a political party. I am telling you, if one Adeleke, the dancing governor that had to move to a new party today, I tell you ordinarily, it wasn't his intention to move to a new party. He would have found it healthy to go to APC, which he wanted to. Because we were privy to the fact that himself, his family member, including his son, Davido, and all of them.
His cousin, his nephew.
No, we will call him his son because
it's
not more like a nephew thing. So, because he's very fond of him. He even had to meet with the president, met with some leader of the APC.
I will pause you there because
there will be a soft landing.
We will get to that point where the APC, in quotes, allegedly rejected him. We'll get to that point. Now, before I come to Olumesi, let me come to you again. Do you foresee a situation whereby these guys are running, like he said, he mentioned the word survivor, they are running to either other parties or the ruling APC? Is it for survivor, or you could say they have been coerced to join the APC?
I know, I can trace this, and we can make a simple reference to Edo, for example. Now, I do not think any of them have been coerced so far, because at the level it is right now, they will even pay to the camp. Like when the governor
That's an allegation anyway.
I said they will even pay
allegedly
to come.
Allegedly.
Yes, I have not said it happens. They will even have to lobby major leaders in order for them to find their foot in the APC. Because today APC is everybody's new wife. Because it's already a settled party, it's a ruling party, though people had to take and make all of those efforts to make it what it is today. But the truth is that it's democracy, people can come. Now, I wanted to do a simple narrowing to Edo, for example. When the governor came, opposition had a pretty number of House of Assembly members.
Yes, they do.
And for the governor to do very well and perform, he doesn't need a legislature that will give him head hawk or bent neck. He needed people who will understand his agenda, his ideology, and they can easily work together. Because you will not stop the fact that opposition leaders at that time, they want to use their honorable members to want to give the governor some head on and say, yes, I'm coming. And saying, oh, yes, we have majority in the legislature. Even though you're an executive, we can give you problem. We saw it happen when Adam just assumed office some years ago, when PDP then had majority, and then our party ACN, we had Almost none, apart from about 2 or 3 in the House of Assembly. When people like the Zekawano were speaker and all of that, there were a lot of issues before some of them gradually came. In this one, when the governor came, even some of us who are party faithful, even have to approach some of our friends who were in opposition as legislators and say, please, the new agenda is here. We want Edo to shine. Please come and join us. So the governor will have an easy flow. And for those who were very progressive as at that time, they came. And even for majority of us, we say for those who came as at that time, when we actually needed to have a system when the governor will not have issue, they can even be given automatic to continue if they intend to contest again. Because at that time, we needed them to help make sure the budget does not have issue. The government runs smoothly. They obeyed us. But some did not come. And some of those who did not even come, at the time they were needed, some are not coming this late hour, for example. And for some likes like that, we do not have them in priority list. They will come and go to the queue. Even if they want to contest again, for example, they will go to the queue.
So there's a queue.
Of course, there's a queue. Like for Orado, for example, where I come from,
not queue for fuel.
Queue, you must join the queue and contest again for the primary. Okay. Like Orado, for example, where I come from, we have 2 constituencies, Orado East and Orado West, for example. Yeah. For the Orado West, unanimously, almost everybody have resolved that is a one way. Because when we needed the person, he came, assisted this agenda, supported the governor, and government started. I think the other one just came up by yesterday ago, for example, for the Orado East. He's going to go to the queue. Because right now he's the one, because the PDP is completely scattered, he does not even know who is going to be state chairman or who is the state chairman or who is his, it's good, it's democracy, we want more people. What I'm trying to say in all shades, okay, at this point, he probably is the one that I now have to beg to come.
All right. Let me come to you now, Olumesi. He has said a whole lot because he will always talk good about his party because he's a party man. He belongs to the ruling APC. So they will even want, if possible, to even make another country an APC country, but that would not be possible. Now, let's look at the defection per se. Like leaving the PDP to, because majority of these governors are to the APC. Majority, almost all of them, that are, even a governor who is not going for a second term again, like the likes of Bayelsa State Governor Doye Diri, who is on his last term, also defected. Would you think, like I asked him, that these persons are being coerced, or they are moving out of their free will, or it's a ploy that people are fanning the embers of crisis and the PDP to favor the APC?
Okay, when I mentioned that survivor, yeah, I always say for the case of Fubara, owing the challenges he had faced and what was before him. Yes, he just needed to seek, just like when Obaseki also was looking for a second term, he had to go to PDP. Now, for others, it's coerced. Okay. Do you get that right? Yes. You see what the federal might, with all their agencies and all of that, was it's in
Kuje Correctional Center.
Yes, and all of the Malami, all of that. But we are not saying that don't try anybody, but let it go round. Yeah. There's no selective.
Through the legal procedure.
See, please, if you want to tell me that there's any politician in Nigeria that has clean hands, please keep that to yourself. Okay. Yeah. So now, when we don't this on national television, we are privileged to get some information. The amount you get as a sitting governor to move to the ruling party,
as the case may be.
You see what Adeleke was facing. So his local government fund was withheld, and all of that.
They went to court. The court strike out the case, saying that the state government cannot be the one instituting a case for the local government.
Yes. So now, what I want to say next is that that's why you see most of them are accusing the president of trying to turn the country
to a one-party state.
So, but all the same, like I said, this person it is wrong, morally or wherever, to have galvanized people. When you say political party, a bid up to election, you have sympathizers, you have party members, you have people who just and they work for that party, and you just single-handedly go to corner and move the mandate of the people is totally wrong for any reason. But right now, this is the stage Nigeria politics is going. But it's not guru for any of the political parties, even in Edo State. Yeah. Do you get that right? Because politicians are only politicians. I say there's no permanent enemy in politics.
It's only interest that is permanent.
I'm not a politician. This man is a politician.
Yeah, he is.
Very soon, because the politician will tell you it's for this, it's just for the people.
Yes. And they did not consult the people.
Yes, but whether they consult or not consult, but this is the language we hear. This is the language we hear in this part of the world. Now, when there is a situation tomorrow, the decision will be for the interest of the people. And that's what they will come, they will sell it, and also being able to, make their way. That's why we say we are revolving, we are growing. Yeah. Time is going to come that you are a governor who won't make any difference.
Absolutely.
You will be a sitting governor and lost. In this Nigeria, a sitting president has lost an election. So we want a situation whereby the system will grow to that extent where democracy will be based on ideology, based on what you have to offer. Because sometimes you will now sit down and look at some of all these defection and all that. You see that most of these problems in PDP were self-inflicted.
Absolutely.
One person will sit somewhere and create something out of nothing.
In order to destabilize the party.
Yes, you could imagine a person will come and say, a whole political party should not produce a presidential candidate. My dear sir, it's only from this part of the world you get things like that. But it's okay. So how do you respond? That's the important thing. Okay. There's no island of anything. It's politics. Okay. When this guy is playing politics, you also come strategize and all of that. It's not fighting or whatever. And that's what we have also loved in this our politics. Our politics one time it was shooting, ballot box dancing. We have also passed that stage. Now it's more or less like sitting down. It's a technocrat thing. Yes. If I come right now, I have to chance this man by way of knowledge, and it's acceptable.
And also financial inducement.
Financial inducement, yes, that is what is just the major one now. And all that. So, but the important thing is that just like he said, the issue of queuing. That's where the negotiation comes. Look at Delta State. Yeah. The governor is coming. Look at the former Deputy Senate President, Omo Agege, is there. Lau Keyamo is there. Yeah. Lack of, what's this man? Nollywood actress. Ned. Big wins and all of that. Yeah. But this guy negotiated his way. Now, as the governor, you are now the leader of the. You see how well footballer said. Immediately, he said, I'm now 001
in Rivers.
In Rivers. That have also stirred up reactions and all of that. But that is the reality. You remember the governor is so powerful, somewhat powerful because he's spending the resources of the state. Resources. And he has a lot of privileges and all of that. So what I want to say now is that number one, there's inducement. Okay. There's also this what you call investigate. You see most of these people in government, you see that you are a sitting governor, your commissioner has been picked, your commissioner for this has been picked. It happened here in the Edo State and all of that. So you also know what is going to happen to you. So the quick thing is to, one of the leaders said that join APC, your sins are forgiven.
But we've seen that.
We've seen, that's why I didn't mention it. We've seen a lot of people who EFC were after, suddenly they moved that thing has stopped. So when you come and tell me that some of the APC members are being also going after, it means that those APC members, their languages are not clear. They have not submitted. They are not loyal. So when you are not loyal in this part of the world,
you're said. Okay, let me come to you, Osaga. Osaga, before we go on a short break. Now, a party gives you a mandate. You single-handedly move the party and the people's mandate to another political party. Is that not a breach of trust, the way they say it in law? Before we go on a break.
I think the Supreme Court have had reason to talk on this.
But the decisions are dissenting.
No, I am coming. Okay. It's just a personal view sometimes we owe.
All right.
Yeah. Now, when we say people are being induced, did Accord Party induce Adeleke to Accord Party? I'm sure it was also induced by leadership of Accord.
It could also be possible.
Party.
Survivor.
Survivor. The other ones are not survivors. See, let's be factual.
Okay.
Politics, as you people have rightly agreed, it's a game. Yeah. And sometimes, truly, Accord Party could take surprises. But also, to your own surprise too, Accord Party may also take surprises. Okay. We have had leaders who want to decamp from party, former governors. They don't have structure, they don't have people to decamp with, probably because of their precedent or past records. Yeah. And when your records are clear that your leadership was empty, nobody goes with you. We have seen people, some members, when they said they are decamping, others of rep or one thing, some are even minus to the party they are coming. It's even a double work. It's not every defection that is plus. For example, even in APC, for example, yes, we need high number of votes. But I can bet you there are some who will come, they are minors. some old members will become so aggrieved and become sabotage
for their community.
Because some of those people either were almost behaving like hire killer when they were in the other side. We have had people who were using battlers to battle APC members at a time just because of their desperation to win an election. I don't want to mention the constituency now because once I mention, people will know. But when the decanter came, in some cases their team have even had appointments. You understand what I'm saying? And there are party faithfuls that were around there. If the leadership do not move faster to appeal to the conscience of those who are taking bullet over the time for the sake of the party, and they think you can be used and dumped at will, there will be a time of reckoning. I'm telling you, it's not just to say, oh, let's push him away. Like, there are people you want to push, you can't push them away. It's normal. So there must be a system, even when people are coming, some who are already minors, there's a way you must speak to those they came to meet in order to pacify them and make them stand in unison.
Okay, we have to go on a break. It's still 60 Minutes Nigeria, reaching you live on independent television. My guest, Bright Olumese, clergyman, political analyst, Collins Osaga, political analyst, and a chieftain of the APC. Doing justice to what we're talking about. The defection of Fubara and the defection of Adeleke to different political parties, the impact for 2027, ahead of 2027. So when we return, we'll be delving more into the impact of 2027. But let's take a short break on the show. Stay with us. All right, thank you so much for staying with us still on the program 60 Minutes Nigeria. We're still looking at the defection of Fubara of Rivers and Senator Adeleke of Osun State from the PDP to the APC and Accord Party respectively. Its impact on the forthcoming 2027 election. Not just these two persons, but an array of governors or politicians who are leaving the PDP or other parties to the APC. What will be the implication? So let's delve into the implication now. Let me begin with you, Olumese. Now, don't you foresee a situation whereby 2027 will come, the people might not want to go out? When I say the people, the electorate might not want to go out there to vote and assume, okay, it has happened now. So everybody has joined the PDP, so let's just leave it like that. Are you not scared of that happening?
Not at
as
all.
an implication?
It's not at all. Okay. The reason is because the politician, the political gladiator, they understand the terrain. Okay. Poverty is deliberate. Yes.
I don't know if you can say that again.
They deliberately make the people poor so that they can control their mind. Go to many of these places, one person is controlling all of them because he just have to share. He's the link. I know that it's a deliberate thing. You know, like when I travel, I look at what other even small economies are doing. People don't have many resources. Me and my wife were on vacation. We were just discussing something. What do these people have now that we don't have? I said, look, do you think Nigerian police, they know what they are doing? Poverty is deliberate to keep the people on check. If people are not, do you think this set of politicians that's what we'll be having? No! Nigerians are too rich, intellectual people. Go around today, you see governors who can, most of these governors can do different projects. Can they write projects or whatever? So now the point is that poverty is a tool. All these people come to say, my leader is stomach infrastructure.
So a tool they are using on the people.
He say, don't let anybody just take that from you, and all of that. So you see, deliberately they make people poor and all of that, so that they can control them, whether is their will or not will. Yeah. Go to most booths on election day. He's being priced, and all of that. You see one person behind holding the bag. You vote.
But that's against the electoral act.
That is what we are saying. The people are, you know what's called poverty. Do you know the effect of somebody have not eaten since? So finish that. It's just a simple game. So, but we are believing that one day, someday, something will happen. These same people. I was watching over the social media. One member of House of Assembly being attacked.
Yesterday.
Yes,
that happened yesterday. Either yesterday or this morning.
I was telling people who were together. I said, we are just coming.
It's just the beginning.
Politicians should be careful. When you keep deceiving people, same time, when their eyes
are open,
your children will enjoy it. So please, like I said, it's a heavy concern. Yeah. that the people who come at 2027, no, we're already in 2027, like you said.
Exactly, for the politicians.
Politicians are already in 2027. They are mapping the people. Somebody that is going to be senator representing this one, that one is already there. That's why this is what my brother said just now. There's certain person that want to decap. It's a threat to this person. Problem is already brewing. Negotiations and all of that. That is politics for you. Like I'm happy that we have grown beyond killing and mimicking. Yes, let's go to
intellectual boss
ideology. Let people who have something to offer be consulted. Yes, let's bring consultant to table. What do we do? How do we win this election?
How do we do it?
Yes, how do we do it? That is what we want to see. Continue as we grow.
Yeah,
we are growing. So looking at the people will come out, sir, the people will come out. The people will just say people will go and find out how much, who is giving who is giving
and who is giving higher.
Yes, that's what is happening. Now you see, election is very expensive. So political party, a candidate is coming into this election, wants to spend billions. He wants to be sure that this political party can give him the platform.
Yeah.
Do you get that right? Okay, now we have certain cases whereby political party helps you to win, but also have cases where candidates help political party to win. When people like Adam Sumere came into this state, the political party he ran under, we didn't know it, but his personality,
he came.
Yes, his personality. So we have cases like that. Like go to Osun State right now, with the report we got this morning that they have turned it to accordingly.
Accordingly.
It's not. It's what is going on now.
Yeah.
It's just that when we have.
So because of the personality.
Just that when we have one time talk back. Those things can happen. People will just keep moving. People can share this. So the issue is because of poverty. If we have professionals, we have people who can feed themselves out of that.
Intellectuals.
You will know that these people have their own. Don't be saying what they are saying. They will do what they want to do. Yes.
Okay.
So that's what we hope we grow into.
All right.
With the stage where we are now, is a Nigeria political space is a negotiating market.
Yeah.
The highest bidder you get takes it. So don't kill yourself, please. Go and work hard. Yes. We are happy that we have graduated away from killing Mimi. Let's come into strategies. People who have something to offer. Yes. Let's say that this man is a politician. He has weight in his people in his side. Let people go and buy him over. Finish. That's what is happening right now. When you are so good, you are a bride. People come for you.
Absolutely.
If I want to go into politics, that's what I will do. If I'm going to politics today, I'll sit down. Who is this person? Go and find out who controls that place. But that's what I'll do. I know that. I won't throw my money around. I know that. So you control this place. Okay, what do they need?
What do people need?
They need transformer. Give them 10 transformer. They need great. Give them. I remember the lack of when our honorable Omosade came first time to contest. Yeah. They were grading roads. And all of that, people voted for her. She won. That's politics. So we want to see that, coming straight to your question, people will come out.
Okay.
Because the people are anxious. They just see every election time as a opportunity to get something
from the politicians.
Just wait, very close to 2027. You will see many more letters. Special assistant.
Definitely.
Senior special assistant.
Definitely.
Call the names. I know that. After the election, you go home and see that.
Absolutely.
Then I bet we want to encourage all these guys to look for something to do. Look for things to do. Outside this country, there are so many things you can do.
Okay.
Two professional bodies. Look for something. It's important. So it gives you weight. There are many people who know they can't buy you. They rather listen to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Let me come to you now. You are a chieftain of the APC. You always acknowledge that. Do you foresee your party heading towards, I don't want to use the word on my head, heading towards rejection come 2027 as an implication? Because let's tell ourselves the truth. Majority of Nigerians, no matter what you see on the social media, deep down, they are not happy with the policies of your political party, the APC. Somebody was telling me yesterday that a bag of rice is now 50,000, 60,000. I asked him, 10 years ago, 2015, how much was it? So you cannot tell me it has reduced because it was between the scale of 10,000, just 2015, 2016, before it's corrected to about 100 and something thousand. Now you are saying it is 50. That is still not reduction. Okay. Reduction will be if you now say it goes down to like 5,000. So don't you think your party will face rejection come 2027?
Can I now come? I think first, that's an insinuation by minority of you.
No, not me. That's what
minority of those
the electorate
who probably have that view. Which electorate? Who are electorate?
The people.
Okay. the electorates are not dumb that anybody can just come and cook a story and give. You talked about Acolyte, Akodelite, you said it just now. Akodelite should go to national television and show Nigerians what he has done in his state for the period of 3.5 years. And let Nigerians judge from there. Let's not say things or do things based on emotions or sentiment. We never would have had it better than we are having today if Asiwaju and his team haven't come on board.
What have we had?
Oh, then you listen. Okay. There is no perfect system, agreed. Before he came, the insurgent we talk about now, over 42 communities, even before Buhari came, were taken over and flag were flew, taxes were being paid in North Central, Northeast, particularly. And in the Southeast, there were completely a declaration of a specific period where you don't go out, you don't come in. There were a lot of killing, unabated.
That started under the APC in the East.
Oga, I am telling you, Oga.
It wasn't happening during the PDP
Oga,
in the
now,
East.
come on.
No, I know what I'm saying.
Oga, are you talking about party thing or administrative section activities?
No,
if you are making it party,
you are trying to
if you are making it party, now you run to East, but you didn't talk about the kidnap of students, then the insurgents and Boko Haram and ISWAP during PDP.
As at then, so only 14 local governments.
Come on, don't say what. Don't say what you are not sure.
I know what I'm saying.
Wait now. Will you allow me drop my discussion?
All right,
because you're interjecting me. And now you have said those you have said, and a bag of rice was almost 100 and something at the time. I run a restaurant. I'm a CEO of a restaurant. So I cook every day. Even before I came here, I have cooked in the kitchen.
You cooked on your staff?
I'm a chef. I am a chef and I have a team.
Okay.
I have joined and cooked in the kitchen, went back home, refreshed and started coming.
Okay.
Because what I do every day. So every day, I must go to the market to buy food. So I know where we were at the time and where we are now. Now let me tell you, the market is 50% beautiful as we are talking. Yes, the world economy. When the international system, both the World Bank initiated 2020 Millennium Development Goals, they weren't joking. They told countries across the world, by 2020 you would have met all your basic needs, roads, schools, because henceforth, the people can read this entity we call Nigeria or world for next 40, 50 years and tell you what will become of it.
Yeah.
And they told you the world global economy will crash from 2020 down and country will hardly and barely survive. Now, over 4.6% today in America. I had liked CNN this morning. Today, 4.6% was said. Level of poverty that have increased in America.
Okay.
Now, you go to UK and some other countries. There have been protests on hunger. Now, this is the first time we are seeing a country, Nigeria, where things have gone up and it's going down. And you are telling me it's not fine.
The question
now,
is,
you were receiving salary 10 years ago. I'm coming. 10 years ago. I know, 10 years ago, when you started working here, I know you've been here for years. I am sure your salary was not what it is now. That simply means...
But the cost of living then is not what it is now.
That is what I'm telling you. It is the formula of the world today. The more your salary is increases, the more commodities too you spend that same money for also increases.
The question I ask is...
APC can never be rejected. Now your question was, how can APC be rejected when APC are building roads? Roads that were granted.
They are basic necessities.
By previous administrations.
Under the APC too.
Come on.
Muhammad Buhari was under the APC.
Obasanjo had an administration. Buhari, Jonathan and Yar'Adua had administration. Let's even say from 1999 down. And in these years we are talking about, how many years did PDP manage?
It's almost
since
the same.
1999.
It's almost the same thing.
Good. It's almost the same thing. And at the time the world were enjoying the euphoria of excess crude oil.
Enjoyed then.
I am coming. What did you enjoy?
A lot.
Were there, okay, can you tell me the roads and bridges that were built at those times those people were in government? Even from when Jonathan was a president for 6 years.
Okay.
From Otweke, from here to Otweke, where it come from, it must come through Benin and pass through Benin. Do you know none of these roads were touched for those 6 years?
But,
as bad as it was.
But it has still not been touched up till now because I traveled that route.
That means you are far away.
It has still not been touched.
You cannot tell me the Sapele Road houses up to Bayelsa Projects are not ongoing. Come on now, you are not talking to those. You are not talking to DOMS. Nigerians sees everything. Now you are talking about Coastal Road being initiated to cut across all the state in the south. Nothing is happening. Now, no, we need to go because of your question. I am trying to give you some information probably you don't have.
I have all the information because this is my job. We have the information, but we need to go. As we go, a final thought from the both of you. From your end, Olumese, what will be your admonition, both to those that are defecting and those they are defecting to meet and the electorate ahead of 2027? Same question to you. Let's wrap it up.
Okay, in my very last thought, wishing Nigerians again a happy Christmas in advance and a prosperous New Year. Politicians, please, this is the only country we have.
Okay.
We must play the politics so that there will still be Nigeria.
Yeah.
Like for the APC, they should they also trade with caution. Yes, look, just like we could see that there was a time there was this PDP who thought that
it's Uhuru for them. They will just be there forever.
See, nothing they happen.
Nothing they happen.
You know, those days we used to hear language
yeah.
10 over 10, 18 over 18. Where are we today?
Okay.
So that's why I started when I was laying foundation that they should learn that what is happening in PDP is something you can learn from.
Yeah.
Yes, nobody should play God. If you look at even President APC, I watched one of the chieftains of the APC weep over this, release of names of our ambassadorial this and all of that.
They were all
shouting. The lot is not well in order. So, but all the same. First, there will have to be a Nigeria before we can begin to talk about politics.
Absolutely.
Okay. So please, everybody must hold Nigeria first
before anything else.
And they must trade caution because look at the trend happening in the ECOWAS system now.
Yeah.
This issue of coup and all that. They should be careful because when coup take place, politicians first of all become victims.
They become jobless.
Yes, no, not jobless. They become victims. Most of them will be picked.
Absolutely.
Most of them will be kicked, so they should be careful.
Yeah.
We don't want to lose this democracy. I pray for this democracy. We don't want the worst of democracy is better than the best of military. So we want to be in democracy. Okay. We'll get better.
All right.
So all politicians must know that the whole responsibility to make sure they don't destroy this country.
Collins, your final thought in 1 minute.
It can't be 1 minute.
We need to go.
No, it's not possible.
My director has given me...
Now let me tell you.
Okay.
All hands must be on deck to get things right. Okay. It's not about being a party or not being a party.
Okay.
We are all stakeholders in this game.
Absolutely.
So when, even those in the party, when leaders are behaving arbitrarily and upside down, we should be able to call the spade a spade and get them corrected, even though you become victim of your outcry. Because usually when you speak out, you are victim. It's normal. So let's our selfish end not make us continually be silent. Now, my brother just talked about the ambassadorial list that came out and all of that. We have a senator, for example, representing Edo South. Okay. For example, we have senator representing Edo Central. For example, it was National Assembly that submitted this name and the names were screened. They were there looking like foul. Now, at the end of the day...
No, you can't say they are foul. They are humans. They are humans. They were there. No, you said like fouls. That's in what is it called in literature? There's a phrase we use for it, but we can't use that here. They are humans.
Can I explain what I mean?
No, they are humans.
Okay, if you do not want me to use the word foul,
we need to go.
Probably they were looking like sit down, look, and dog.
Okay, you can say
now. These people were supposed to then know that the interest of their senatorial or constituents were not being pushed out. So if they choose to have been quiet, that is where the electorate will now call these people to order and say, where were you? Were you sleeping?
Gentlemen.
So let's not make it look it's all politics.
Collins,
or
if I allow you to continue, we're not
issue.
going to end the show. But my director said we have to go.
No
I want to thank you, gentlemen, for coming on board. Thank you very much for coming. That's the size of our package on the show today. 60-minute Nigeria. God willing, we'll be back again next week with another exciting package for you as we monitor the polity and the politics ahead of 2027. We'll see you on the other one. I am Lawrence Osifo saying bye for now.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body. But the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
ITV, certainly the best.
Hello there, thank you for joining us on this special interview series on independent television. And I'm Sonny Duke Okosun. Our guest today on the program is the Ambassador of the European Union to Nigeria and ECOWAS. As a matter of fact, the Ambassador of the European Delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, His Excellency Ambassador Gauthier Mignon. Thank you for obliging us your time.
Thank you very much for your kind invitation, sir.
Okay, how would you describe your presence in Benin so far? Is this your first time in Benin City?
Actually, it's my second time, but I came in a private visit the first time because I hadn't presented my credentials yet to Mr. President, so I could not engage officially by the time. So this time it's the first official visit. And I came really with an intention to see how, to review the cooperation we are having with Edo State and to try to see how we can scale it up. But I took the opportunity to visit yesterday to participate to a private preview of the Museum of West African Arts here in Edo State, which is a project that I already saw last year when I came first to Benin City.
Also, so how would you describe the level of partnership between the European Union and, of course, Nigeria, and particularly Edo State?
Well, with Nigeria, the European Union, together with its member states and its development banks, what we call Team Europe, I think is the first partner, is Nigeria's first partner in many areas, in trade and investment in particular, and also in cooperation in many areas. And we have 730 million euros in grants for bilateral cooperation with Nigeria between 2041 and 2027, plus also sizable amounts of loans, subsidized loans. And with Edo State, we've had good cooperation in several areas. I'm thinking in particular of support to migration governance and support to stranded migrants returning to Nigeria, and many of them are from Edo State. And in the last few years, we supported more than 23,000 people to come back and reintegrate into their communities nationally, and many of them in Edo State, just to name an example. So voilà, we think we can do more in other areas. We're also working in digital economy, in renewable energy, and also in projects for communities. But I always come with states so important like Edo State with an idea of how to try to improve and strengthen what we are doing already.
All right. What is the policy thrust of the European Union in terms of opportunities for young people as it relates to education?
Well, for us, education is key, and young people are a cross-cutting priority in a country like Nigeria. So in all our projects, we integrate a dimension for young people and also for women. And in particular, as far as young people are concerned, we are funding a big national project called Nigeria Jubilee Fellowship Program. It's about helping young graduates to integrate into labor markets by funding a 12-month scholarship for having internships in medium and small size enterprises or public service to get a first professional experience, and this is something that we are now scaling up with the federal government. And we are also offering possibilities of studies in Europe, particularly through the Erasmus program. We have more than 100 Nigerians going every year to Europe to study a master in the framework of the Erasmus program.
All right. What is the policy thrust of the European Union in terms of opportunities for young people as it relates to education?
Well, for us, education is key, and young people are a cross-cutting priority in a country like Nigeria. So in all our projects, we integrate a dimension for young people and also for women. And in particular, as far as young people are concerned, we are funding a big national project called Nigeria Jubilee Fellowship Program. It's about helping young graduates to integrate into labor markets by funding a 12-month scholarship for having internships in medium and small size enterprises or public service to get a first professional experience, and this is something that we are now scaling up with the federal government. And we are also offering possibilities of studies in Europe, in particular through the Erasmus program. We have more than 100 Nigerians going every year to Europe to study a master in the framework of the Erasmus program in particular.
Fantastic. If you just join us, we have with us the ambassador of the European Commission delegation to Nigeria and Africa, who is in Edo State currently on a private visit, engaging him on a wide range of issues, looking at the partnership between the Commission and Nigeria, and particularly Edo State. Ambassador Migno, let me quickly take you on a trending issue in Nigeria right now, which has to do with violence, extremism, and the talk around genocide against Christians is gaining momentum across the world, particularly in the US and several other places. What's the Commission's perspectives on this issue, and what is the intention in terms of helping Nigeria to deal with banditry, Boko Haram, and all other, extremism that we're seeing playing up in the country right now?
I think it's important not to exaggerate or oversimplify situations which are very complex in Nigeria in terms of violence and insecurity. Of course, it's a big concern for everybody, including for us. We are very much committed with freedom of religion and belief in particular, and of course, any attack against communities or individuals because of their religion must be condemned, unacceptable. But at the same time, we stand in solidarity with Nigeria, with the victims of the attacks, of course, and with the overwhelming majority of Nigerians who are willing to coexist peacefully beyond ethnic or religious differences. And so we stand in solidarity with Nigeria to fight the many drivers of violence and insecurity, and religion is only one of them. And we've been supporting Nigeria for many years through many projects of peace building, of de-radicalization, demobilization of former members of non-state armed groups, for instance. And we are ready to do more. The European Union some 12 years ago received the Nobel Prize for Peace. And so we always feel the necessity to be up to this great distinction that we received, to work on peace building, to work also and strengthen our relationship on security and defense with Nigeria, but in a spirit of partnership and of respect for Nigeria's sovereignty.
Fantastic. You're here specifically because of the Museum of West African Arts, MOA, which of course was launched just a few days ago. But what's your take on the current issues surrounding the Museum of West African Arts, particularly against the background of some of the things that happened there, during the inauguration of the center? You were there.
I was there. It was not an inauguration of the museum, actually. Okay. It was just a private preview, because the organizer, I think very wisely, decided, as there were some criticisms, to postpone the formal inauguration of the museum. They announced this already a few days ago. And so yesterday was just a private preview for partners, friends, diplomats like myself and other European ambassadors. The EU has no direct involvement in this project. We are not funding this project. We might do it in the future because we want to partner more with museums and cultural institutions in West Africa and Nigeria, but we have no direct involvement so far. So I came here really to see the advancement of this very wonderful project I discovered last year when I came first, which is a great opportunity for Edo State, for Nigeria, and for West Africa. It's a West African museum. It's not about only Benin or Edo State or Nigeria, even. It's West African. And I must say that the experience that we had yesterday was quite unpleasant and deplorable because this private event on a private property was disrupted by so-called protesters who came in, allowed by the police, because there was security all around, but they left them in. And they disrupted the whole event. So it's exactly how you scale off. You scale off investors and development partners coming in good faith, to partner with your community. And Germany, for instance, has invested 8.5 million euros in this project. If now they see that this project cannot operate normally, I mean, the conclusions will be quite clear, not only for Germany, but for all European stakeholders.
Fantastic. Let's look at a general issue that relates to the involvement of the Western world in Africa in terms of development, in terms of partnership, in terms of insecurity. Talking about partnership, we're seeing the European Union, for example, always disposed to giving loans to African countries, Nigeria inclusive. The perspective of these loans being a trap for developing countries, underdeveloped countries. What are your thoughts? What's the Commission perspectives on this?
Well, this is a trap where we felt collectively, the lenders and our African partners 30 years ago, and we had at the time to pardon part of this debt, to do a whole work to get out of this situation. So now, through, in particular, our new cooperation strategy, which is called the Global Gateway Strategy, we are very attentive not to fall again into this trap. So we limit the level of indebtedness of partner countries. We give subsidized loans. We don't want to fall again into this trap. And what we are seeing with concern is that African countries, some of them, are falling again into this situation with other lenders, not the European Union, because we've learned from our first experience. So this is why now we work very much with financial instruments, blending loans with grants, for instance, subsidized loans which create revenues for the country, so making sure that they can be reimbursed. So it's really a point we are very attentive to.
On a global scale, we've seen the disappearance of peace, so to speak, at the global level. I mean, the Hamas-Israeli crisis there's a ceasefire, there's some sort of agreement, but we're still seeing some measure of violence. We saw recently the RSF activities in Sudan, particularly in Al-Fasher. That crisis is still going on. And these activities or events that are unfolding globally that undermines peace globally, what's your perspective of the fact that it's like the world is hamstrung in terms of dealing with these issues, nipping them at the bud before it blossoms, it flourishes, snowballs into huge crisis like you're seeing now in Sudan. Hunger is there in Hamas. There's starvation, there's poverty, and all of these issues happening. Why is it so difficult for the world leaders to have a consensus in terms of how they can collectively respond to these issues?
Because we have collective rules in the United Nations Charter, international law. And what we have seen over the last 10 years or so is that very important players have not respected these rules. You know? Take the case of Russia in particular.
Yeah, Russia and Ukraine.
Russian